going on? What's going on? It's your guy JD. Hope all is well. Love and light. I'm gonna give a couple of minutes for you guys to jump on in the live. Got some good news for a lot of you guys. Those of you who are starting building, or whether you're in the building phase or what have you, this might be beneficial to you. So I'm gonna give just a few minutes for you guys to come on in. Normally I would do like a pre-record, but I just got this news, so I figured let me share it with you guys. I'll just give a couple of minutes for you guys to jump on in. And as you are watching, be sure to hit that like, hit that share, and hit the subscribe button. Cost you nothing to hit that subscribe, guys. Cost you nothing at all to hit that subscribe. I appreciate you. But as you guys are, as I'm waiting for you guys to come in, I guess I'll just, start talking. I mentioned in my last live that I will be heading down in April. The week of Samana Santa, I'll be heading down. So if you guys are traveling to Dominican Republic during that time, reach out to me. Let's link up. I will be down there for about 3 weeks. I planned on doing a lot when I'm down there, hitting the river and all of that. All the stuff that I didn't get a chance to do while I was down there this time around. Only because, river water is cold around this time. So I couldn't hit the rivers this time around. But it's okay. I'll be down there in April. So I'm preparing myself. Shipping some stuff down, so I'm gonna do a video of shipping, which I've done before. But for those of you guys that are new here, you guys will actually see the kind of stuff that I ship down in Dominican Republic, shipping costs, how much it costs to ship from New York to DR, door to door, and all that good stuff. All right, so I got 3 of you guys in here now, so I might as well just get started. And I'm not going to be on here too long, guys. I'm not. I just wanted to give you guys an update only because my builder reached out to me this morning, and he told me that the price of materials in Dominican Republic have dropped, guys. Yes, the price of materials, and it has dropped damn near half. So hello, Real Santa. For you guys that are just joining in, be sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe. So now, with that being said, I'm going to give you guys the price quote that was given to me by my builder, and I'm going to break it down in terms of material costs and labor costs so that you guys are aware of how much, it will cost to do a roof in the Dominican Republic. So with that being said, the initial quote that I got for my roof, and we're just talking about just the materials alone. The materials initially went for a little over $10,000. I appreciate you, Real Santa, for subscribing. I appreciate that. So the initial cost for my roof, well, the material cost, okay, was a little over $10,000. Okay. And that's not including the labor. So with the labor and the material cost, it would have been almost $25,000 to do the roof. But now I got new quotes. So now the quotes on the labor cost, the material cost now is no longer $10,000. It is approximately $5,854. So we round it off to about $5,900. So that's the total for my material cost for the roof, and then the labor cost is running me 13,000. 900 and give me 1 minute. Okay, so it's $13,948 is what the labor cost is going to cost me. Now, what that includes, it includes paying the maestro, that includes paying the carpenter, and that also includes paying the electrician to run all the wiring for the electrical work on the home. Okay, so if I were you guys, because right now, I'm back home in the States, and it's no telling when the cost of materials might go back up. I don't know if it's because of the holiday time. I don't know if it's because, things are slow in terms of construction and work and all of that. So I don't know why the price has dropped that much, but I'm trying to make my way down there within the next week or so, only because there's no telling whether or not those prices are going to go up. Brenda, Liz Rodriguez, what's going on? I appreciate you guys for joining in. Just giving you guys some updates on the, on price, the material cost in the Dominican Republic. For those of you just joining in, know that prices of materials have gone down. So if you are looking, bro, you're like the only good live YouTuber. G-Tag Player, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe, guys. So yeah, now that I know that the price of materials have gone down, I'm trying to get back down to Dominican Republic within another week or so, even if it's just to get down there for one day to pay for my materials and to come back home. I'm working on that now, especially since I got the good news, because now I'm saving about a little over, $4,000, almost $5,000 I'm saving, so if you guys are in that situation, I would advise you to jump on this now. Go down there, because I'm gonna be real with you guys, I probably won't have the money to start the work until, because we're closing out the year, so this is the end of December going into January. I probably won't have the money for them to start working until like mid-January. But I do have, like I said, all the money for the materials and half of the money for a down payment for them to start working. All I need to know is, how long it's going to take for them to complete the job. And that'll pretty much give me, that window to, if they say 2 weeks, it'll give me 2-week window to get the rest of the money up to pay them, so that, the job is done. So ideally, I like to have this done by no later than January, February. And then when I get down there in April, at that point, the roof is done. You know what I mean? And then I can go ahead and move forward with completing the kitchen. As you guys know, the cabinets are done. I work on doing the countertops, so that now the place is livable. Put my appliances in there, stove, refrigerator, and then at that point I can, pretty much live in the crib. Yeah, so that's pretty much my plan. All is well with the house and all of that. It's just a matter of me getting back down there. I just left DR like 2 weeks ago, so now I'm gonna have to turn right back around and go and pay for my materials. But what I planned on doing this time is I plan on, when I get down there, I plan on going to the Fetteria, speaking to, I guess, the management to see if I can just have an account open, so that when they need items or materials and stuff, they can just, charge the card, So I'm going to see if I can do that. I feel like it's better to pay for your materials up front, you know what I mean? That way you know exactly how much they cost, and then, you go ahead and pay for the labor, however, whatever agreement you have. Normally what I do is I usually pay half, and then once the job is completed, I pay the rest. But if you're gonna be there full time in managing your projects, hey, pay them day by day. You can pay them day by day, and then that will ensure that, the work is going to get done. And if you see anybody slacking, you fire their ass and bring in somebody else. That's it, Excuse me. This guy here is a really Cool guy. I like watching his channel. Good to see you again. I subscribe to your channel. I appreciate you, Richard Kelly 5865. Yeah, guys. I mean, it's been a hell of a journey for me. You know, throughout the 4 years of me, you know, doing this whole building, going through the whole building process. It hasn't been easy, but I'm pretty much at the tail end. And, you know, once I'm done with this project, I'm going to probably take a little rest and then move on to another project. I know I told you guys that I was going to give myself a 2-year mark before I transition myself down to DR permanently, but you know, I'm still young. I'm 46 years old. I'll be 46 next in about 2 weeks. Got a birthday coming up. You know, ideally I like to be down there within the next 2 years, but I really want to make some more investments before I head down there full time. And in that way, you know, I can live comfortable and not have to worry, you know, about you know, my finances. So I'm planning on making some other investments so that, you know, once I'm down there, I'm okay. And that's what you guys should be doing too, especially for those who are, excuse me, once you get down there, those who are living on a fixed income, you know, you really need to think about other sources of income that you can make while you are living there, only because you don't want to be in a country limited. Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, only because you want a fixed income. And a lot of the ones that are living down there now who are on fixed incomes, they are starting to see the change, and they are being forced to move out of the hotspot areas only because of inflation. Rent has gone up in Dominican Republic, and it's going to continue to go up over time. So if you're one of those people that are living on a fixed income, you might need to start figuring out other ways to supplement what you're not bringing in. Let me read some more of these comments. What's good? Is the British guy with the Puerto Plata, it's the British guy with the Puerto Plata country club land. Oh, mate, what's going on, Lightbringer T World? What's going on? You did good with your projects. Thank you. I appreciate you, bro. Happy early birthday. I hope you have a good one. I appreciate that, guys. I do. I do. Yeah, you know, it's all about planning, you know, planning, making sure that, you know, you're putting all your ducks in a row so that when you do make that transition, there's no turning back. There's no looking back. You know, so these are the things that I'm focusing on. And I just want to be down there living comfortable, you know? So these are the kind of things that you should be working on too. You know, planning and making sure you are planning the right way. I was just talking to one of my buddies about getting a car and all of that. Because now that my house is nearly done, I'm like, I know that I need transportation. We were trying to figure out, you know, what is the better option, whether or not buying a car in DR, having a car shipped from the States to Dominican Republic. So these are the kind of things that I'm researching now. I think it's probably feasible for me to just buy a car in Dominican Republic opposed to having one shipped, only because one, the car can be no more than 5 years old. You know what I mean? Who's most cars that are under 5 is still being financed or leased, and I know I don't, you know, by the time my car is paid off, it's going to be over 5 years, and I'm not shipping that kind of car down to DR anyway. So that's one. Then, you know, you got to pay the taxes to have it cleared and all of that. So by the time it's all said and done, you end up paying more than what you would pay if you were to buy, you know, a car in Dominican Republic right out. You know what I mean? So these are the kind of things that, you know, you need to weigh out, you know, whether it's feasible for you to just buy there or ship from here, you know. So that's one of the things I'm going to be working on. So I'm looking at maybe like this time next year, I should you know, have a car in the Dominican Republic. And then, I want to get me a 4x4, a little quad, because my house is up in the mountains. You know what I mean? So these are the things that I'm working on. I know one of you guys had asked me about my current apartment, in which I put out on the channel. So if you guys haven't checked out my latest apartment, check it out. Excuse me. It's the allergies. The change of the weather's got me all messed up. I'm so nasal and stuff. So excuse me, guys. But yeah, I just uploaded my new apartment. Beautiful place. One of you guys said in the comment section, yo, where do you be finding these places? And I always say, for those of you who have not moved to Dominican Republic yet, who are in transition, I always say, do not rent out anything until you get there. Rent out an Airbnb, whether it be for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then give yourself that time to look around, talk to locals. I'm a social dude. I talk to people, and that's the only way you're going to find things. I spoke to, as I'm coming out of the airport, it's funny. One of the guys that works at the airport was trying to rent me a car, and it went from him renting me a car, me asking him, does he know anybody that's got land for sale? He told me yes. I ended up meeting up with him, and then I was telling him that I'm looking to move out of my apartment, and then it just so happened that he knew somebody that had an apartment for rent, and I ended up renting it out. And paying the same amount that I'm paying, that I was paying, more space, beach access, river access, more, you get more for your money. I tell people this, and most expats that have been living in Puerto, whether you're living in Puerto Plata, Santo Domingo, Punta Cana, once you are there and you get yourself, familiar with whatever city you were living in, eventually you're gonna move out of where you initially moved in, because you find it that other apartments are cheaper, and you find it that when you living outside of the tourist and more populated areas, rent is cheaper. So for those who have told people, oh, you're not gonna find anything no less than $500, that's not true. It's not true. I mean, I'm living proof, and I've shown you. I done had 3 apartments so far, and I haven't paid no more than $250 for each apartment that I've had. So that just goes to show you, listen, there are apartments out there. You just have to be proactive by, talking to people, and trust me, there's somebody that knows somebody that has an apartment for rent. Okay. I also looked on Facebook Marketplace. You got to be proactive looking on Facebook Marketplace as well, only because there's listings that be put, they put new listings up every day. So you got to be on there every day looking for an apartment. And, in most cases, a lot of the owners rather rent to a foreigner versus renting to a local. We have a better reputation of paying our rent on time, and, not giving, these owners any problems when it comes to getting their rent money. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just, look around. And then also, guys, I can't say it enough. These Facebook groups, you got Facebook that has a lot of groups. You got expats in Dominican Republic. You've got buy, sell in Dominican Republic. It's a few of these expat groups that you guys can get into and ask any questions that you may have, any recommendations. I mean, that's what these groups are here for. And then we have a lot of groups on WhatsApp as well. I'm in a few WhatsApp groups, and everybody shares informative information. You just never know who you might meet. It's always good to have connections in different cities. So if in case you do decide to visit another city, you have somebody that you can reach out to that could possibly show you around, give you some insight about that city, what's going on. where you could find land, where you could find, so it's always good to be proactive, in terms of, communicating and socializing with other expats. That way, you get yourself familiarized with the country, there's a lot, and you guys would be surprised. There's a lot of us that live in Dominican Republic, and I'm not just talking about the populated cities. I'm finding it that a lot of expats are moving into the less populated cities only because it's cheaper to live. And especially if you are on a fixed income. Me myself, I'm at this point, less is more. And that's another thing, there's a few of you guys that I do talk to on a regular. Y'all have my number personally. We communicate through WhatsApp and things of that nature. Now, I was talking to one of my buddies that, we communicate a lot. And I was kind of showing him my next project and what I want to do, and both I showed two of you guys my next project and what I planned on doing, and they both stole my plans. I said, bro, it's all right, but I'm just saying this to say that guys, as we get older, less is more. Less is more, and a lot of us are from the States and Europe, and when we are thinking about moving to DR and starting a life there and buying land and property, a lot of us have this idea that, we need to buy, an acre of land and 1,000 square meters and 12. Bro, I'm just here to tell you, like, what do you really need all of this land for? You got to ask yourself that. What do you really need all this land for? It's one thing if you're buying a bunch of land to resell it. It's another thing if you're buying land to build a house and to make a farm and to do agriculture. That's one thing. But if you're just solely buying land to build a house to retire, you might need to rethink the kind of house that you want to build. As we get older, do you want to walk up those stairs every day? You know what I mean? To maintain the home, having somebody to, cut the grass, the landscape, and do all the things that we really don't want to do once we get a certain age. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, if you are looking to build, you may not need to build the big house that you really want to. I mean, as I said, guys, think about it. As we get older, less is more. And you don't really need a whole lot of land to build a home. Now, I'm going to just give you an example. My home is roughly 200 square meters, okay? The construction is about 190 square meters. So the home pretty much takes up majority of the damn lot. Now, initially, I didn't want a big home. I got stuck with a big home only because the contractor that I hired, made a bigger construction to make more money to get more money out of me. So that's how I ended up getting stuck with a bigger home. My initial home was only going to be a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I didn't want nothing no more than 90 square square meters, so that's how I got stuck with it. But if you can save, money, go smaller, and don't let these contractors tell you that, they don't build. Because let's just be real. A lot of these contractors don't like making small constructions because they're not making any money out of small constructions. They're not. They're just not. But you will find a contractor that'll be more than willing to do it, especially if it's a contractor that's, getting itself established. They'll take a small job. And I've seen, excuse me, I've seen smaller constructions from people that I know personally that didn't cost a whole lot of money to do. You see what I'm saying? So, just think about that. Do you really need a big home? Do you really need that? I feel like it's a waste, especially if you're not going to be there full time to stay there, and that was my buddy's idea. He was going to build this beautiful home, and I was like, bro, it's a nice home, but you're not going to be here full time to live in it. So what's the point of you building something that big? And he said, you know what, Jay, you're right. You're right. So these are the things that we need to be asking ourselves. Do we really need a big home? I know one thing, my next project, because initially I was thinking about doing an apartment building, you know, and then I thought about it. I might just do, a single family home, 2 bed, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. So I still have time to think about it, but these are the things that you should be thinking about too. And then also, I'm trying to think before I close out. Um, I think that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give you guys the info on the material cost. So if you are building, guys, you need to jump on buying your materials now. Now is the time to buy them, because who knows what if the materials are going to go up once the new year comes in. I think it's only because this the clearing. It's the end of the year, and that's one of the reasons why the materials have gone down. But when 2026 come in, might be a whole different story. Yeah. So that's what it is, guys. I just wanted to share that bit of information with you. If you guys haven't checked out my new apartment video, be sure to check that out. It's in the short section. I'm trying to think of anything else before I close out. Only that I will be in DR in in April. In April, and if I get down there before then, I'll let you guys know. More than likely, I am. I'm probably gonna have to fly down just for one day, just to pay for the materials and come back home. Yeah, yeah. So when that does happen, I'll let you guys know. Very good point. Don't need a mansion as long as you are happy with what you got. Exactly, bro. And a lot of us, we come from the States. We just have that mentality. We want the big house, the big land, and it doesn't make sense to have all of that. It really doesn't. I mean, when you think about it, because even with me, I'm single. I'm not married yet. This big house that I got, you know what I mean? Now I'm stuck with it. I'm forced to have more kids so that I can fill up these damn rooms. You see what I'm saying? So, and all the money that I spent, I could have done 2 homes for the same price, pretty much. 2 smaller homes. You see what I'm saying? So, you think about it. Think about it. Count the cost. Count the cost, and shop around for builders and contractors and things of that nature. I done been through it, guys. I'm gonna do a whole tell-all book about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm just waiting until everything is all said and done so that I could, do that live, the tell-all, because that live is gonna be about a good, hour, maybe even a little longer than that. And I'm not here to bash, Dominicans. I love Dominican Republic. I love the culture. I love the people. But at the same time, we have to be very, very cautious of who we put our trust in, guys. Take it from somebody that knows, I may have been a little bit overly trusting, but at the same time, you got to trust somebody. You're going to be vulnerable. You got to be vulnerable to someone. It's unfortunate that I have trusted, the wrong people along the way, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You live and you learn, and you try not to make the same mistakes that you made in the past. That's the only thing that advice that I can give you guys. Trust no one. Be very, very cautious, yeah. Being and some people say, oh, why didn't you reach out to some of the expats? Man, some of the expats are worse than the locals. Some of them are worse than the locals. Everybody's got their hand out. It's like a money grab, and it shouldn't be that way. It's unfortunate that, the ones that, started first, you should be, the pioneer, the one that's leading those who are coming in after you, showing them the ropes, giving them the right quotes, helping them to help you, because once you help us, we're coming with our people, you know. So but people don't look at that. They just look at now and trying to get a dollar as fast as they can, and don't care who they burn in the process of doing it, you know. It's a doggy dog world out there, man, but you know, it is what it is. You got to take it with a grain of salt. And I tell people, not everybody has the mental capacity to do this shit. Not everybody's built for this. Trust me. You know, I have been through some things, you know, but I'm still here standing, and I'm just grateful and thankful that, you know, my house is almost done and I have something to show for, because that's not everybody's story. You know, I know people who have, you know, attempted to build homes, you know, in their countries and sending money to their families. We're not talking about strangers, families, only to go back to have nothing, you know? So it doesn't just happen in the DR, it happens all over the Caribbean. And I know people who have been through that, you know? Yeah. So that's it, guys. I'm about to close out. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like, hit that share, hit the subscribe button. And y'all stay tuned for some of the upcoming content that I have. I also want to make mention again, I'm going to keep stressing it, because I got this deal in Sosua, guys, that I just don't want to let pass me by. I got 3 investors. I'm looking for 3 more investors, guys. If you're looking to buy 628 square meters in Sosua, great location, mountain view, river access in your backyard, reach out to me at taylorjayson01@gmail.com. And if you are curious about how this land looks, I put out a video recently, a land for sale in Sosua. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. It's an investment that I don't want to let slip through my hands, guys. I just don't. So if you're interested, reach out to me and let's make it happen, all right? Again, guys, I appreciate you. Hit the like, hit the share, and subscribe, and I'll be talking to y'all soon. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Y'all take care.